Welcome, everybody. Welcome to Inside the Booth. This is the review show, the best geek talk show on the interwebs. That's right. I'm one of your hosts, Dan the Law. Then we have Ron from CG Artists and Tony from Dock and Bay 327.
What's up, guys?
What's up, everybody? So, how are you guys doing today? Good.
Can't complain.
Can't complain.
Doing well.
And if you did, no one would listen anyways.
That's right.
Wouldn't matter.
That's right. It wouldn't do any good.
Nope. Well, it helped me. Therapeutic. I'd get the vent.
Oh, there you go.
If anyone's listening or paying attention.
Right.
That's what you have a dog for, right?
That's right.
He's the only one that understands me.
Yeah, I don't know about that part.
Oh, that's funny. So tonight we're going to talk a little bit of Andor.
Yes.
Here's this one. No, which one? I got one there. This one. Look at that.
He's blocking me. Hey.
Now it's all going.
I dig the image there. That's cool.
Oh, thank you. And then there's Andor season 2. So yes, we are going to talk Andor season 2, but we should talk a little bit about the first one first, right? Because
sure,
it kind of goes together. You kind of got to watch the first one to know kind of what's going on in the second one.
Oh, no kidding. For the most part, yeah.
Yeah, for the most part. Because I would have been lost if I didn't finish watching some of that first one today.
Right?
Yep.
There's going to be some spoilers, so...
Oh, yeah, spoiler alert.
Turn it off. Watch it after you've watched at least the first 3 episodes, because the next 3 are tonight, actually.
Yeah.
Right.
Which is another year going by, right? This is year 2, I guess. Or...
Yeah,
another
it
year.
said like a year later, right?
Every
Something
3
like
episodes, right?
It'll be the third year, BBY 3. So it's going
right,
backwards.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
My dog is huffing and puffing.
So they're doing every 3 episodes is a new year.
Yep.
Interesting. Okay.
So the whole first season that we're going to talk about first was BBY 5, which is before the Battle of Yavin.
Okay.
The first Death Star. So that's their timing on it. And this is the first show to actually include that as an official timeline.
Gotcha.
Star Wars show. So yeah, all of the things that happened in season 1 are BBY 5 years prior to the Battle of Yavin.
Ah,
yep.
Okay.
And hopefully they'll make a movie about that or a show about that. The Battle of Yavin.
I think they already did.
No. You can't see into the future. You can't see.
You don't know nothing.
Well, I mean, New Hope was kind of that movie.
Kind of that, yeah.
Kind of.
It hasn't happened yet.
Now, what is the planet that they're on? Where the senators are talking, because they talk about going to Coruscant later, but I don't really know what the planet's called that they're on. Do you guys remember?
Are you talking about the new show, the new episodes?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know they mentioned it. I forget though.
Yeah, it shows it on the screen.
Yeah.
But I can't remember what it's called. I'd never heard of it before either. So
yeah, A new planet.
It's not the one that the Death Star blows up, right?
No, Alderaan.
Okay.
No,
Alderaan. No.
Okay, Alderaan. Right. Now what? Because that one, shouldn't they make a show about that one too? Because since they kind of are in the same time period,
maybe.
Right?
Yeah, it'd be another one of those movies that's you know how it's going to end.
Right. Yeah, that's true.
There's no escaping it.
Oops.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mike says hello. Well, he doesn't say hello, but he is commenting. So it's kind of like saying hello. What's up?
Hey.
Mike.
Is that the name of the show? I mean, the name of the planet? Did he just put it in there? Is that what it was?
Macarena? No.
What does that mean?
It's just how he types his name.
I see.
Yeah.
I read too much into it. Sorry.
Yes, I think you did.
So season 1, we can all say that was a pleasant surprise.
Right.
Season
within
1.
the first couple of seasons, you realize, ooh, this is real. this
right.
went
Okay.
to a whole other level.
Yeah. So when we talk about season 1 of Andor, I think you really don't need episodes 1 through 7. After that is when it starts getting interesting. You know?
You think so?
I think so. It doesn't I don't know. I'm bored all the way up to episode 7. 8 wasn't bad, I guess, but I don't know, it's just kind of boring to me. But then it gets better, at the end there. The last
you
few.
gotta do the character development.
I know,
give
but
people
it's
reason to care for these people. Otherwise, no one will continue watching. I don't care if anyone dies or not.
Right.
I don't care if one stormtrooper finally figures out how to aim and then he gets killed so he can't teach.
Son of a! I know it.
Wait a minute. I can aim with this thing? You'll never be able to teach the others.
The slow burn, what? I knew as soon as I saw that in the trailer, I was like, oh man, that's not going to be good. The one guy the one stormtrooper that can actually hit something.
Yep, and now he's gone.
Right.
But anyway, you wouldn't care who he shot, and it wouldn't be as devastating. You wouldn't care about the one woman who kind of started the whole rebellion, at least kind of. Her sacrifice and all. Wouldn't care about
Marva.
Yeah.
Where's mom?
Yeah, which I like how they have pictures of her all around.
Yes.
Yeah. I like that they throw that little subtlety in there.
Yeah.
Only one Easter egg, which is, I'm sure there's plenty. It's over my head.
Yeah. I watched a couple of other shows that kind of go back and pull out a lot of those things.
That's what I'm going to do next. Yeah. Well, not tonight, but I'll do that sometime this week.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, where they talk about all the Easter eggs and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I like watching some of that. Yeah,
me too.
That's fun.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's more fun than the show itself. Because they tell you what's going on, basically. So
it's funny you say that. I used to think that about Talking Dead, which used to come on after Walking Dead, and that was almost better than the show because they'd sit and talk about it.
Right?
Oh, yeah. It was like a podcast.
Yeah,
right.
yeah. So I get what you're saying, Dan.
Yeah. But Dan, can we go a little deeper into this, because I'm sure you're not the only one that feels like it's boring.
Right.
What is it missing that makes you feel that way? Is it because it doesn't have much action?
Yeah, I think that might be it. The pacing seems a little, I don't know, it doesn't seem like it's fast enough, I guess.
I think you're not used to Star Wars being a drama.
Right.
Action.
No, I understand it can be almost like one of those TV shows where like NCIS and stuff like that. You know,
Yeah.
It seems similar to that, but it's just, I don't know, it's not quite there. You know,
He's
it's like
missing the lightsaber, Tony. That's what it is.
no, that's
You'll
not the
see no
lightsaber. I don't.
lightsabers here.
Yeah,
Well,
I
I'm
don't see no
honestly,
lightsaber.
if that's true, then that's fine. Now, you know, we all have
Right.
our own opinions for it. I mean, and you know, no surprise to our viewers here. I really loved it.
Right, of course. And it's not bad. I did, you know, I really enjoyed the part it's in season 1, not season 2. In season 1 where he's in like the, I don't know, jail, I guess you could say, prison type of thing.
Oh
with
yeah.
Andy Serkis, and you know, and then they're trying to figure out how to break out, basically, you know, and then they finally do. So that was fun. That was like one of the fun parts of the show to me. It was more like, I don't know, like in the beginning, it's just a slow burn, you know. It's like, you know, can we move it a little faster or something? Now, the first season was cool because, you know, Cassian just kind of kills in cold blood, and he just like walks away from it, and he's like, you know, hey, whatever, I did it, it's done, you know. And that you don't see in a Star Wars movie where someone just kills him for, you know, just he does it, you know.
Someone who's not Han Solo. You're right.
Yeah, right. Right.
Who shot first, by the way.
Yeah, that's right. You know, and that was cool. The first episode, maybe the first 2 was kind of cool, but everything like in the middle of that first season was kind of it was like slow, you know. I understand why it had to be a little slow, like Ron said, you know, you got to build the characters, you got to figure out what's going on, but because it's so slow, it's hard to follow, in my opinion. You know, it's like it was hard to follow what they were talking about and where they were going with it, and it was like, you know, like maybe if they cut it down a little bit, or just kind of not been so like focused on. And it could be because they are jumping from different scenes of different people, you know, that eventually connect in the end. But it's like you're jumping here to there to here to there, and it's like a lot of it's just talking, and you're like, okay, trying to figure out, like the brain trying to comprehend, you know, like what's this person talking about? Oh yeah, oh, and then now they're talking about this over here. Okay, now I see the connection, but it's like, I don't know. It's just, to me, it's just like a boring talking. Monologuing. Yeah, basically. You know.
Well, I guess I could understand that a little bit. Like the whole thing with Cyril and his mom. Like,
oh boy, yeah,
that's painful.
Yeah, that is painful.
Yeah,
but the payoff in season 2,
when she's put in her place.
Yeah, oh my goodness!
I like how she was like, "Oh,
yeah,
right."
No one's ever talked to me like that before. I love you." No,
right. Yeah. So I mean, I had a couple of thoughts on or questions about that. I was like, why are they, you know,
bothering with it?
Yeah, they don't really care about this guy. What, you know, what's all that? But I've seen it. To be fair, I've seen the entire season 1 about 10 times.
Right.
That's how much I enjoy it. So now that I've seen it that many times, I'm very, you know, I understand where they're going with everything. It's I enjoy the character building. You know, the reason I like it is because the dialogue is well done.
It is.
All of the characters, all the actors playing their parts, even if it's the minor parts, you can tell that they really put themselves into it. Like,
yeah,
they make you believe it. Whether you care or not is another story, right? But they make you believe in who they are and what they're doing, why they're doing it a lot of times, and
Yeah, what they're trying to accomplish.
yeah.
For me, it's like Game of Thrones, just sci-fi rather than fantasy. And if you've ever watched Game of Thrones, if you're into that, there's a lot of of let's say Cyril and his mom, family quarrels and stuff. I mean, if not more, right? And you question, why is this important? But it all ties together,
Yeah.
Right.
Just don't know how just yet.
Right. Well, it's
be revealed to us.
Right. In season 2, it's starting to come together a little bit better, in my opinion. Yeah. I guess it was just that character building that just was like,
Yeah,
it's
sometimes that happens, man.
I mean, Lord of the Rings has that in the first Fellowship of the Ring, right? But it's different,
Yeah, there's a
Lord of the Rings. Because of that, like I'm just like
right. But I don't know. It seems different though. Like to me, with Tony, he falls asleep for the Fellowship of the Ring in that in that movie. Me, I fall asleep during this and not the Fellowship of the Ring. It's like
I feel.
I don't know if it's maybe how the music goes with it, or
it could be sci-fi versus fantasy. Maybe you're more into fantasy.
It could be.
That could be.
Yeah. I did kind of like the fantasy a little bit better.
Yeah, and it could be. I mean, some characters may rub you the wrong way. Like I just finished the season 1 of 3 Body Problem. It's one of those that you have to stick with it, and it just gets better and better. But in the very beginning, much like what you've said, Dan, it's just like, all right, and just enough to intrigue you to keep watching it, and then by the end, you're like, I want more now,
right?
Which if you haven't seen that, to you and our audience, 3 Body Problem is a very good sci-fi.
It is, agreed.
Okay.
Yeah, I was the same way for the first 2. At least.
Yeah, right. You're like, oh, come on, what is it?
I don't know.
And then you're like, oh,
yeah.
That's
See,
good.
the newer Dune movies, the first one.
Okay,
it did that.
That
first one was a little. Yeah.
Can we?
I mean, after seeing the original one, because I watched that prior to. I was like, okay, this is far better. Wow, that's a tough watch that I will never ever do again.
Oh, that first original Dune, yeah. Oh my goodness, that was something else.
I went to the theater and saw that at an early age and was like, "What
did you?
The hell is
what
this?
Am I watching?
What is happening? What is happening? Why is that guy so gross? What is this? I want to go home."
Yeah, especially that blob thing that
I was just not
like a vagina as a mouth. It was just the weirdest. It was the weirdest thing ever.
How that didn't make it into the new movie.
Yeah, it's like, good thing. Good thing.
Yeah,
it was bad.
That's out. That's just no.
Tony,
but I appreciate
that,
it.
Tony?
I mean, I think they tried to do way too much in the time period, and it just did not have the technology to really do it right. And it suffered from that.
It did. It sure did. It sure did.
Yeah, they bit off well more than they could chew, man. On that first one. I never saw the show. I know there was a show about it, right? I heard bad things about it, and I just didn't feel like subjecting.
Was there a show? Yeah, I think there was a show.
Yeah, that's all right.
There's a newer one. There's a newer show.
Is there? Oh yeah, a brand new show that's in this more modern era on Max. It's on Max, right? I think. One of those streaming.
It was pretty good.
Yeah, that and a couple other things make me want to get Max so I can just watch those things and then cancel.
Yeah. I'm still waiting for the second season of Silo no, that's Apple TV.
I have not watched that.
Apple TV, yeah.
Silo's another good one.
Yeah?
Really, intriguing and where it's going. They kind of keep you on your toes a little bit.
Okay.
Right.
But
look,
there's another one I tried to start that I couldn't. Hey, Sean.
What's up, Sean?
Have any of you watched The Expanse?
No.
No.
I
All
don't
right,
think
because it's
so.
one of those ones where I'm trying, man. I'm trying to fight the good fight, and I'm like, what?
I made it through the first, I think, season of it, and
Okay.
I watch a lot of Tested, and I hear Adam Savage talk about The Expanse all the time, and I thought, oh, I'll give that a try. I'll try that out, and it's
Yep.
got to be good, and it's redundant, and
Yeah, that's that.
For you?
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
Yeah.
I think I got through 2 episodes and was like, done.
yeah.
I have to get. I'll try again, but there's other things on TV now that I have to watch.
That's right.
It's taking my attention.
Oh yeah.
Yes, it's coming up very soon. So, Sean, we were just kind of talking through season 1, and Dan was sharing his thoughts on how he felt like it was really slow and he got kind of bored with it. So I was asking him why. We were just kind of talking about all the character development and everything with that. But
yeah, and I'm kind of fine with a slow build with a story. I mean, I've said it before. I mean, we talked about it that I kind of thought that season 1 was like a mix of like the Bourne Identity and Star Wars. I mean, it was like you had a different side of it that had more development to the characters. And I with this season that we're on now with season 2, I mean, I kind of feel like, and this is kind of maybe patting ourselves on the back too much, but it's like a love letter to Star Wars nerds. I mean, there is more focus on things that they're operating and switches and dials that they're moving than the Force. I mean, it's
right.
I mean, they're doing tight, super cinematic zooms of her on this dial and moving, and I'm like, oh, look at that dial.
Yeah. There's a lot of eye candy there.
Yeah, I mean, when he gets on that ship and the fighter is flying away, and they do so many cool zoom ins on parts of the ship and the mechanics of it, and it's I love that part of it. I mean, that's I'm all in for that stuff.
Yeah, the only critique I have with season 2, and I'm probably one of the few, is their use of anamorphic lenses. It's a little distracting. One scene in particular, Krennic is talking, and he walks all the way to the edge of the screen, right about here.
Yep.
And he's completely blurred out, and it's just like, oh no, follow him.
Right.
But I get it's a static scene, and they want to get everyone's reaction to what he's saying. But man, he chose the wrong lens on that one, man. And a lot. I think this whole thing is filmed like that, or at least these first 3 episodes, where the edges are so damn blurry, and it's just distracting. Coming from a videographer, photographer, it's just like my eye instantly picks up on this thing. Like, so that's the only little.
Other than that, though,
other than that, we're good.
As somebody who comes as a photographer, videographer, I mean, what do you think about the sets and just the images and just the world that it's creating? I mean, what are your thoughts on that?
It doesn't. I think on our show, we talked about how this looks more cinematic and open, like a real world, like just vast, right? Versus Obi-Wan, which seemed like a set, right?
It felt more set.
This seems more just broad, more depth, right? And I love that about it. I love I like the costume design. I especially love the greeblies and things in the background. I mean, this is one of those things, these 2 seasons, where you're just going to sit and pause and look at the background over and over again and be like, how can I make that? You know? So I love that. And I love the shot selection. I just don't like the lens choice.
Yeah. I agree. I agree with that. And I just I love the character development. I like the relationships between people and stuff. I mean, I think it's very interesting, and a unique side of storytelling that I hope Star Wars does more of.
Yeah, I hope people are taking note of what works, man, and this works. If we can get more of this, that'd be just great. Just great.
Agreed.
I just hope they're paying attention, you know?
Yeah. Well, I agree. I don't know how much of that is. They're all obviously very intentional about making this show the way it is, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
But how much of that is lightning in a bottle? Like all of those characters, and like I said earlier, they all of them, even the minor characters, are all in, right?
They
you
are.
can tell they're giving everything they've got to every scene.
Yeah.
Even with the props, like Diego talked about it in several interviews where, he would go into the set the day before and just walk around and play with stuff, like get familiar with where everything is. Wouldn't you love to be able to do that? Oh my God.
Yes.
Wow. But I don't know if, it's just because it's not just Tony Gilroy's writing, although it's awesome, right?
Yep.
And it's not just Diego Luna, although he's awesome, right? It's all of it put together, and I don't know how often you can
do that, right?
Something like that, right? I don't know how often you can do it. I don't know.
And it's like online, I had seen a bunch of people commenting and complaining that there wasn't going to be a season 3, and it's like, well, there can't really be, because this is the story up to what we already know. I mean, this is a chunk of time, and you can't stretch past that because we already have movies that are past that.
Right.
Well, and Diego talked about that too, because they were going to do 5 seasons, 1 season per year.
Oh, okay.
But what they realized was Diego's the actor is 51, 52 years old.
Sure.
Right.
So if
wouldn't make
they
sense
would do that, right, by the time they get to the end, he would be in his mid-60s probably, right? So I mean, that just
this will start to happen to him. You'll be like, wait a minute.
Hey, at least it's gray.
It's funny. A couple weeks ago, I did that. I took it all off.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I don't know if it's the same for everybody, but my only complaint about the series is the and this is a complete random aside. And I don't know if everybody gets the same commercials that I get, but I get that commercial for Snapdragon. And I don't know if it's nationwide. It's the one where it's the dad at home and the wife texts and says, "I'm going to be late. I'm at a meeting." And then he uses Snapdragon on the computer so that he's able to cook a meal and tell a story to the kids. And the kids are like 9 and 12. And I'm thinking, where's this guy going? And how
I've seen that commercial. Yeah.
Dinner for the kids. And
is this a commercial that starts at the beginning before the show, or does it pop up in the middle?
It just pops up in the middle.
Pops up whenever.
It must be a different tier. I don't get any commercials.
Okay, it's
because you pay for the expense
right off, man.
Disney Plus. I don't. I pay for the cheap Disney Plus, and I get ads all the time.
Yeah, that's me and Amazon. I pay for the cheap one, and you're in the middle of the story, and there's no. Well, like a normal TV show, like, well, all right, it's about to be a commercial. We're not going to solve this in 2 seconds. You're watching it, and the character may die, and then all of a sudden, there it is, a commercial.
Yep, there's an ad.
Yeah. Well, the tier that I'm at, it's like, this episode of Andor is brought to you by Snapdragon, and it plays an ad at the beginning and the end, not in the middle of the show.
Mine's throughout the whole show.
Okay.
No, that's never gonna work.
I got the cheaper one.
It's already 3 hours. I don't need to add that to it. I'm upset by the little preview of whatever they're trying to show in the very beginning. I skipped this stuff.
I don't need it. Yeah.
Skip the
I wish it was like YouTube. It after a few seconds you can skip.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah, that would be
cool. It's still annoying. YouTube, I get ads like that all the time. And they pop up in the most awkward.
Nope. That's for sure. Yeah.
That was driving me insane, John. I thought I got Disney Plus like right as soon as it came out.
Me too.
To it,
Yeah.
and I've just stayed in that tier or whatever it was
Yep.
since then. So I don't get any commercials.
Yeah.
I upgraded mine so that it includes the Max and Hulu or whatever.
Oh
so
yeah,
all different. I canceled my original and then switched to whatever commercial version I'm now on.
Surprise.
Exactly. Exactly.
That's how they get it to you for cheaper.
There you go. Hey, love it.
Hey,
Love it.
Lauren.
I'm curious what your favorite characters are from the show that you're getting to see some of the backstory on.
Cyril's mom.
Okay. She's great. She's great. I want an action figure of her.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, you know that's good acting when you just despise a character. It's just,
yeah.
I hate this character. I hate why she. Then she's doing a good job.
Absolutely brilliant. Yes.
Right?
I mean, like just turning
Yeah.
that.
I keep expecting her to do the Beetlejuice smoking a cigarette.
I don't know.
She reminds me of that character.
I mean, she to me right now, she's the Joffrey of this. You know, I hate this character so much. Then that means you're really, really doing.
She's doing a great job. Yeah, what an actress. She's really good.
Yeah, can we get to the new season now? The new episodes.
Sure.
Yeah.
We good?
Yeah.
So crap, I just lost my train of thought.
Oh man.
Oh, you look like you were going somewhere too.
I had a.
Was it about characters?
Gone.
Was it about characters, ships, Greeblies?
When he got into that guy, when he got into
he puts his arm in.
I'll forget it and then I'll remember.
The fact that his hair is a little longer.
Yeah.
That's funny.
It had to be about a character, right? We were talking about Cyril's mom.
Yeah, so that whole this isn't what I was thinking of, but I'll go there. I'll go with it. Just go with it.
It's raining outside.
So Dedra and Cyril, like I've seen a couple of like snippets online where they actually said they tried to out weird each other. And you can tell, right? In those scenes, like it's oh my goodness.
That's
just
funny.
And when Cyril leaves the table and goes
he went to go lay down. He was so pissed off.
like, what is it? He's just like a 5-year-old. What is he doing? You know,
that's when you get so pissed off. I can't think of. I just want to lay down.
Right now, my question is her and that guy, are they like a thing now or something?
Yeah, they're living together.
Right? It's weird.
Right? Yeah,
it's
like
kind of like
an
using him or he's using her. It's not authentic. It's not right.
No, they definitely.
Right. And
I awkward.
And speaking of great actresses, I mean, I love when she's trying to decide if she's going to wear the black outfit or the white outfit, and she's holding it up, and that super forced fakey smile that she's like she doesn't understand how to smile. It's like I mean I mean such good acting.
Good acting. Yes. Yes.
Such good acting.
Yeah.
Brilliant stuff. Yeah.
God,
only her and Terminator can pull that off.
Yes. Yeah. But see, things like that like really pay off from the first season of knowing their interactions and watching that whole thing play out. He's stalking her and all of that, you know, and then he ends up saving her in the end. And so then when we pick up on the next year, like I assume they're like living together or whatever. But
it seems like it.
Yeah, but it's still very, very weird. I mean, it's you know, Cyril doesn't. I mean, look at the woman that raised him, right? So you know, he doesn't have a very good grasp of what a real relationship is supposed to look like. You know,
yeah, exactly.
And so Dedra's just going to step in and take the place of his mom. Still controlling him and telling him what to do and all of that, right? And that for some reason, you know, he's okay with that. But God, it's good though.
Well, she did put the mom in her place, didn't she?
So
it was so funny. That is a funny scene, man.
So great.
That was goofy.
Just her reaction, like, oh,
Yeah.
there's more. You got demands now all of a sudden.
Yeah. Very well acted. The only I didn't love when he crashes the fighter on the planet and there's kind of a conflict between. I didn't love all of that. I was kind of confused a little by the battling between them. I thought that was kind of forced.
Yeah, why they started fighting each other? Yeah, that was weird.
I know.
And then rock paper scissors, but it was
no.
else.
It's rock paper claw. Come on,
rock paper. Yeah, exactly. Claw.
That was probably my least favorite interaction in the 3 episodes so far. I didn't love that,
but to that, like, it absolutely was kind of goofy, and I kept wondering, like, why is he just okay with just hanging out? Like,
right.
So, right? I mean, she's just chilling. You know, he's like
kind of tied up at the moment.
Good, whatever. Yeah,
that's true.
I'm just gonna make sure I'm hydrated and ready to go when the time's right.
Yeah.
It shows.
It's raining. Let me open my mouth.
Yeah, it shows Cassian's like maturity level is growing, right?
And his patience.
His patience is definitely growing. He never would have been able to just sit back and do that. The first season, right? Yeah. And then showing how goofy those guys were fighting over who's in charge, and nobody was really in charge, and
they killed that lady.
They're doing 5 hands, like the whole thing is really
that was
again very cringy, right? But I think it was good in that in the storytelling, because it showed how fractured the rebellion is at this point still.
Right.
They need true leadership, right?
Yeah, and they didn't have a leader.
Where Mon Mothma is going to step up and really take this thing to the next level, and I think that's probably why they, included some of it.
The only thing I really enjoyed out of that is it gave him a chance to get his blaster back. So that I'm like, all right, good. I'll put up with it for that blaster back in the show.
Yeah,
I've never been so
dumb
happy
guys
when someone left the planet. Like when he left and like that planet was behind, I was like, oh, thank you, get out of there.
Right.
All right.
As he's flying away, you realize where he was.
Right.
He was
Andor.
on Yavin 4.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, was he? Oh, I didn't even know
He was
that.
on Hoth.
Oh. He was on Hoth.
What?
I said he was on Hoth before the snow.
In the summer.
Was that Yavin 4?
Yeah, it was
really?
in the
Okay, so
summer.
then that makes a lot more sense that he even was there. That makes sense.
Yeah.
That was one of the Easter eggs, because it happens pretty quickly. He flies up, you see the 2 monuments, and then it's gone, right? So it actually took me a couple of times before I really figured out where he was, because that was one of the planets they never really showed, the location of it. But that was a nice little surprise at the end of that. And we'll obviously come back to that planet a lot. Actually, I think they've said there's going to be a lot of scenes in that planet, like, so we'll get to see how they build the base there, and how it all becomes what it is by the time Rogue One and A New Hope.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah. That's true too, because you gotta figure that this goes into Rogue One. So
right. Exactly. At some point this ends and that starts. I mean,
exactly.
And apparently it's literally like the end scene of this season goes right into the beginning of that movie.
Kind of like they did with Rogue One and the
Yes.
Okay, that'll be interesting.
I did read something that Darth Vader will not be making an appearance. I read that.
Darn, just like in Obi-Wan Kenobi. Well, how come?
I mean, I would expect an end credit something. You don't even he doesn't even have to say anything. He could just breathe and be angry. You know he's angry.
Right.
It just seemed like they should have worked him in the background or something. Which who knows? Maybe that's the thing. But I guess straight from Gilroy to no. So there's that.
Well,
I wish I hadn't read that. I wanted hope, but that's all right.
Yeah.
Now I've dashed it for you guys.
I hope to see your Lord.
Yeah, exactly. Lord and Savior. Yeah, I don't know about Savior, but anywho.
I do think that the character development on Krennic is good, though, that they're kind of given the background and how even amongst, you know, the Empire, it's like no one wanted the crap job. It's like we're all, you know, it's like they're trying to decide who gets the short straw and who has to go, and you know, it's just an interesting look from the other side of things.
Yeah. How about that video on the Gorman?
Yeah.
Oh, that was goofy.
Right? I mean, that was a total like 1950s style, right?
Yeah, that was
and that just kept going.
That's where the clothes come from. That didn't make sense to me, really.
Yeah.
and even longer time ago, you know.
Yeah, and it's weird because I think you hit upon it, Tony, because that's kind of what I was thinking. It's like, so back when I was a program director in radio, it's like I would constantly, when I was like air checking DJs, it's like, you know, you kind of already got the point out and you went too long. And that's kind of what I was thinking about that commercial. Is it's like, I got it. Don't keep going. I got what you're going. I figured it out.
Yeah. It's
We
a pacing thing.
2 minutes early, right?
Yeah, a couple minutes early.
I feel like the Yavin 4 scene with him in the forest was that
too. Yeah.
There's several that are like that. I do know, pretty certain. I obviously haven't seen it yet, but that the Gorman people and that planet is like one of the pivotal moments in this season.
Oh, I would assume. Yeah.
There's some sort of, and this is from lore and, you know, other shows like Rebels and things like that, but they've referred to the Gorman massacre several times. And so something really terrible happens on that planet to those people. So I'm hoping that really cringy, you know, overextended commercial will give us some sort of insight into that.
Right. And maybe a payoff of, you know, of how it's going to happen.
Sure, yeah.
Maybe all the little spiders come out.
I was just thinking that. Done that in Andor already.
That's funny. Yeah.
Wow.
How about my mom and the wedding?
Oh, she lost it, man. Too much alcohol.
Right. Yeah. I wish you were drunk, Ma.
I'm done.
Okay, I'll go get drunk.
Like, oh my goodness. I can't even imagine one of my daughters saying that to me. That would be just awful.
Yeah.
But again,
she was trying to get her not to get married too, though. She was like, "Oh, well, you know, you can just not do it. It's okay."
Sure.
The daughter's like, "You know what? Why? Why would I say no?
I want to do this, right?
Yeah.
But part of it is we're doing it.
Yeah. And I kind of got the feeling where it's like she knows what the imminent future is, and she's like, "Hey, look, be happy now because I don't know what's going to happen later." I mean, it's like, with her dancing around drunk, it's like, I'm going to have a blowout night because I don't know what's happening tomorrow.
Yeah, you're angry that he won't hold your hand. Well, just wait.
Yeah.
Just wait.
You haven't seen Vader.
Just wait.
Haven't seen Vader. That's funny.
The Genevieve O'Reilly, is that her name? The actress that plays her?
Mm-hmm.
Brilliant. Just absolutely brilliant. She's brought so much depth of that character, you know, like, just everything that she's gone through. And at that moment when the mother, the in-law or whatever, she walks up and gives her a shot, like at that point, she's like, my good friend from childhood is on his way to his death, right?
Mm-hmm.
My daughter's marrying this scumbag's son, who's probably going to be a scumbag as well.
Yep.
And, you know, the risk continues, and you got Luthen, you know, in her ear, like she's yeah, she's at the point where she's just like, oh my God, I can't.
Yeah, what did I get myself into?
Yeah, I can't cut that thing off my husband's head.
That's the part that I really love about this show and this series, and even A New Hope. And I remember, being a kid and watching Star Wars, and Mon was in there like seconds. I mean, she's like around a table and she says something. I never, as a kid, thought, I want to know more about that character. I want to see her backstory. But now to see that, it's like, oh, wow, this is just really cool how she wound up there in that movie that I saw when I was, 9 or whatever. I mean, it's just it's neat the way the story weaves together, and they're just doing a really good job at that.
Yeah.
One point that a friend of mine, I was talking to him this morning, we're talking about, he brought this up, and he was like, make sure you mention that tonight on your show. So this, I'm sure he's not watching, but he
tell him to watch.
He made the point that like all of this is really like bringing it home. Like this is real. These people's lives are being affected by the, because you watch A New Hope and it's very, from a distance, and the Empire, you got the good guys, the bad guys. But these people are you can put yourself into pretty much any one of their lives and be like, oh, I can totally relate to that now, right?
Yeah.
It just really brings it home, and I think that's the true brilliance of Tony Gilroy's writing. Like, just to, the grittiness and the reality of it all is just excellently done.
Yeah, and it adds more weight to the end of Return of the Jedi, where everyone's partying. Just to know that this threat is gone, it's over. All of this madness is done.
Yeah.
Right?
So, you see galaxies, all these different worlds throwing a party because of this. Now it makes it like I said, it adds more weight to that now.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's interesting because you kind of feel immersed in this world. I mean, Mandalorian gave us a little of it with, being able to project on the, the technology where you had the giant LED screens and you could feel like you were part of the world. But the way that this show is doing it between practical and digital effects, where you can tell that some of the stuff, like they're in these cavernous hallways and they're like looking at, I mean, it makes you feel like, God, this could really be a place, and it makes you feel like you're a part of the story, seeing it all unfold, and it's really neat. I'm pretty impressed.
I don't know that they used the volume for any of this.
I don't think so either.
Yeah, I mean, Ferrex, that from the season 1, like that was a practical set that went for I don't know how many blocks, but it was literally all that was built out.
Yeah.
So when you're following the camera down through the brick roads and all of that, like that's all practical.
See, that helps you get into character more too. It just helps. It helps.
Yeah, the practical. Yeah. Sets and
I love
props
that
and everything. Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too.
That is cool. Kind of like your ship, Tony, behind you.
Yeah. Why do you think I built it?
Because you wanted to feel in character.
Right. You got a droid back there doing something.
Yeah, he's printing out some stuff now.
I see that.
Yeah, it's just fun to watch and to see little props and things and think, I wonder what that started out as, because Star Wars is very big on taking and repurposing things, and it's just a neat way of going through and watching things for, like I said, the nerds that like to build things out of 70s technology and go, ooh, this could be a Star Wars thing. I mean, it's kind of fun.
Yeah.
Yep. That's for sure. And this definitely has a lot of that Star Wars build stuff in it.
Oh yeah,
for sure. I think it's like a call out to all the fans, like you said before, call out to the fans that build and props and hey, look what we got.
Very smart.
So,
well, and in the first season, Andor pulls that light out when he goes to look for his box, the stolen box.
Yep.
Okay.
That light was, I mean, the first person I saw use that light was Brian Thompson.
Yep.
and
The
you
little
can make
light that opens up. Yep.
it pops open. Yeah, I mean, I've got one, and I think all of us do.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
to see that, I mean, Ron, you know, like we're in a text group. We talk almost every day, but
Mm-hmm.
you know, I think I mentioned at one point, like somebody that is working on that show has got to be a part of our Facebook Star Wars.
And they saw something was like,
Oh yeah, you definitely has to be. You're right.
I mean,
You're
they're just remaining anonymous.
And I
just watching what everybody's making.
I've got to stay off eBay because I can't stop buying random things that are non-working old technology that I'm like, ooh, that could be something. And the next thing you know, it gets delivered, and I'm like, when am I going to even work on this?
Yeah, why did I grab this?
Hold on.
What have I done
to finish this?
I know we went to a flea market a few weeks ago. Me and my wife did, and I got this old 8mm projector.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's cool.
got it. I've been able to pull a ton of really great parts out of it.
So it's like I was on eBay and saw this old. Speaking of, editing bay for like, and I'm like, oh, that's really cool. $10. I need it.
Well, the price is right too for some of that stuff, so you just can't help yourself.
Right.
And if you can't use it, then you'll just break it open and take parts from it. And, you know, it's gonna get used. That's for sure.
Yeah, that's a great piece, Sean.
Yeah,
that is.
Yeah.
Has droid written all over it.
Right.
That's what I see out of it. 2 arms. And, yep.
You know, on this subject, like whenever I first found Brian Thompson's channel and started watching how he was using all of those found pieces and parts and everything, like all my life I've noticed little packaging or pieces and parts of things that were just random bits, right? But I always thought they were interesting looking, and I always thought that's cool, but I didn't have any tangible thing to do with that, right? So I would just throw it away or you know, whatever. So I really believe like Brian brought me home to myself as far as like that's why I'm seeing all these weird shapes and thinking that could be something cool. Like now I know what I can do with it.
I've always been that way with styrofoam.
Yeah. Now the hard part is deciding what really is trash and where to draw that line. It's Easter and my kids got a bunch of those little like Krabby Patty gummies, and they come in this little square box, and they're just like these edible SpongeBob gummy parts. And if you flip it over, it kind of looks like a clear ridged button. And I'm like, what? Give me that. Give me that. I'm like, taking that. What am I doing? Stop.
That's funny.
That is good though. That's
funny. I have been able to pull it back a little bit now that I've got my 3D printer. Like,
Flex, now you can make your own stuff. That's been my thing too. Back here, come up with an idea, model it, throw it in resin, and be done with it.
Yes.
Yeah. I bet. But I mean, who doesn't have a drawer of like juice lids? Or every time I get one of these, I have an entire drawer full of these little things. Because I'm like, ooh, that looks kind of. If I put a light behind that and put that on, it's like so random thing.
Drawer of plastic pieces and parts and containers and My thing is styrofoam, which I can't.
I've got a big pile of. Well, you can't help it. Yeah, I got a big pile of that stuff too.
Especially on Thursdays, someone buys something and sets it out on the curb. I'm like,
right? Yeah.
And I would love to talk to the prop makers and set designers for Andor, because that they're doing the same thing, because it all just feels like it's all built from the same brain power that we're all using to make these things.
Yeah,
for sure. It's fascinating.
Yeah, every time I see something, I just imagine it completely painted gray, and there it is. There it is. There it is.
It's amazing what slap some primer on something, and
Yeah, Lovett's got a point.
Exactly.
Yeah, when you start crafting and adding
Yeah.
stickers and things to, oh my god,
Yeah, never
it's out of
ends.
control, man.
Yep.
It's out of control.
Exactly.
It is.
Cool.
I love
think
that
we are
about-
at
I love
time.
it about the show, right? Is it time?
Yeah.
It is time.
Oh, look at that.
It's just like that.
Episode 3 is calling.
Yeah. Episode
4. Sorry.
four.
Yeah, episode 4.
4, 5, and 6.
Yeah, 4, 5, 6,
That's
right?
right.
It's 3 episodes in one. Now, how many episodes are they gonna do?
12.
12. Okay. Just
Yeah,
like the
yeah,
last
so-
season. Okay.
So again, each 3 are released per week, and each 3 are a year building up to Rogue
Okay.
One. So
Yeah.
tonight is year 3. Next week will be year 2, and then the following will be year 1.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. And
And
then
roll
it should roll into Andor and then
Right.
New Hope. Okay.
I wish they started it earlier though, like I don't know, 6 o'clock my time.
Right.
Right.
it just
Yeah.
seemed a
Yeah.
little-
I wish they did
a
start
little
it
bit
earlier.
you know.
Yeah, so we could be talking about that right now. Yeah.
But
Exactly. Well,
Yep.
yeah, we really
It
spoiled
is 6. Sean, your time, it is 6:30 there, isn't it?
Right, yeah, it is 6:30 for him.
Right? Oh, it's perfect for you.
6:30
All
right
about, it's all about the Californians.
Yeah,
They
it
all
is.
priority.
Yeah, it
They
is.
always get the good stuff.
I don't need dinner. Who cares?
Yeah,
Right.
right, exactly. I'm gonna
I'll
watch
see it
Andor
in 3
instead.
hours. Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
That's funny. Yeah, well, I guess we can call it a show at night. I guess
Cool.
Seems like everybody's kept wanting to keep talking though, but that's okay.
That's usually what happens.
Yeah, I know,
Yeah.
right? It does. But yeah, so that's it. Andor. Ring.
You guys see that?
Yeah. What was that? Yeah, so I guess that's it for tonight, guys. I won't play no commercials. I'll just talk about it real quick. For
right.
everybody who likes our show, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, ding the bell, all the normal YouTube stuff. And then if you want to become a Patreon member or a member on YouTube, you can do that. That helps us financially. So one thing I did buy for you guys to even know, from Patreon and all the support everybody's given us, I was able to, I guess, upgrade my computer, so now it works better.
Nice.
So,
Nice.
so no more lagging on my end.
Nice.
You know, now that
And
you mentioned it,
Mustache wax isn't free.
And mustache wax
right.
is not free. That's right.
Right.
That's right. So
If you got candles, then I guess it
your
could be.
video is much clearer tonight, Dan. I didn't notice that until you just
Yeah.
mentioned it.
Right?
yeah. Let's see here. I bought a SSD, solid state drive,
Okay.
and I got more RAM. I plugged in
Good.
what's it, 8 and 8, so 16 RAM now.
Yeah.
Nice.
And just a couple of extra little parts from another another laptop that's exactly my laptop, so I kind of switched parts in and out. So yeah,
Gotcha.
and
Nice.
it was all together, I spent maybe $60.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's nice to have a computer that is revived, I guess you could say.
Right. Yeah.
Feels like
that's-
it's alive again.
Right.
So
Cool.
Very
Awesome.
good.
yeah. So yeah, cool. So that's what the money does.
There you go.
Quality.
That's
Yep.
right.
Sanity.
Add a little sanity. Yeah,
Yes, for sure.
exactly. Yeah, so and then that's it, guys. That's it for tonight. Thanks for watching, everybody. Thanks for Sean, Tony, Ron coming on the show and always basically being here every time.
Yeah.
Next month we will try to get a guest.
Ah,
Yeah.
okay.
We'll try to
Okay.
grab somebody from the builder world.
Get
Get over here.
Right?
Let's talk to you. So yeah. And that's it. Thanks everybody. We'll see you soon.
Cheers.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
Bye. Thanks for watching. We'll throw in
Andor.
Andor. Watch it tonight. That's
Yeah.
what we're gonna do.
I'm gonna go walk some dogs. Then.
And then watch it. That's right.
That's right. Maybe we'll see if
That's
they
what you
let
gotta
me.
do.
They may not let me.